Assalamu alaikum students, hope you all are well. I am here with another video and which is about industrial development of Pakistan. It's a very important topic, very important chapter of geography of Pakistan. So let's start the video, but before that, if you have not subscribed the channel, kindly do that. So industrial development, before starting this, we have to see what is basically industry. Industry is a manufacturing unit, and any manufacturing unit, whether it is a small one or a big one, we call it an industry. There are different types of industries: primary industries, secondary and tertiary industries. Primary industries is an extractive industry including mining, quarrying, agriculture, fishing, forestry, and they're also included as they involve in extraction of resources, the raw materials, extraction of the raw materials. Now, if we talk about the secondary industries, in this type of industries, the raw materials are processed or components are assembled, means they manufacture it into something else. Like sugar cane is being extracted as a primary industry, and then it in secondary industry they make sugar out of sugar cane. Now, if we talk about tertiary industries, this industry supplies services like retailing, banking, education. These all are the tertiary industries. Now, if we talk about the factors that influence the location and development of the industries, there are some natural factors like cheap, flat and well-drained land is very important, which should be accessible easily through the natural routes. There should be moderate and tolerable climate where the industry has been set up. There are some human factors like capital, means money, labor, raw material, power supply, infrastructure facilities like gas and water, efficient transport, industrial estates, government policies. These all are the human factors. There are some inputs like a resource is required for the industrial product. Some processes are also involved, like the methods by which the raw materials are converted to the finishing goods, and the outputs are the products which are being produced. If we talk about the raw material, there are different types of raw materials. A raw material, a product is obtained directly from the ground, is called a raw material, like ground or from sea, like from farming, forestry, mining. The basic ingredient, that is called a raw material. There are some types of raw material. The first type is renewable type. Agriculture products such as wheat, grain, milk, hides, fishing, forestry products, for example, fish, wood, power resources like water, wind, and sunlight. The power we take from these all are the renewable resources which we can renew, means every year, every time. But non-renewable are the coal, gas we use for power, energy, like metallic or non-metallic minerals like chromite, iron or limestone, rock salt. These are the non-metallic raw materials. If we talk about the secondary products, there are various processed products like cotton yarn, wheat flour, manufactured products like cotton clothes, steel coins. These all are the secondary products. If we talk about the value addition, what is value addition? Value addition is basically the quality of the product which is further improved to add to its value so that it will earn more profit. Like raw cotton is converted to cotton yarn, and further it is converted to ready-made garments. So raw cotton, the value addition to the raw cotton is the cotton yarn, and we add further value to cotton yarn when we make a garment out of it. So that is how we use the raw materials to make the processed goods, and then we add more value to those processed goods and make more products for increased profits. Now, if we talk about the factors for locating the industry, there are some physical factors like natural routes for the efficient transport of goods and work site requirements like flat and well-drained land, as I discussed earlier. Human factors are the raw materials, capital, power supply, skilled labor, industrial linkages, areas, raw materials production like by rail or road links should be there. Like for example, if you are making up an industry or a factory somewhere where there is a no road route or rail route, so how you are going to you expect that there will be raw material coming very easily, or you will be transporting the processed goods very easily? It would not happen then. Now, if we talk about the types of the secondary industries, we have, by the way, read all the types of the primary industries. Primary industries we have read in class 9s, like agriculture, mineral resources, power resources. Now we are in this chapter, we are going to focus on secondary and tertiary industries. Like now the raw materials, we know that how they have been extracted. What happens next? How we process them. So we are going to see that in this chapter. So types of secondary industries are, there are three types: small scale industries, which are also called cottage or craft industries. Then we have small and medium scale industries. Then we have large scale industries, which are the factory industries. So small scale industries basically are home based, small based industries, not using modern technology and belongs to informal sector. Small or medium scale industries are mostly organized in firms and companies, workshops and offices, and they use little bit of modern technology. And if we talk about the large scale of factory industries, they convert raw materials into manufactured finished goods. It involves greater degree of automation, mass production on larger scale, huge capital investment. It employs hundreds and thousands of workers, and it is a pure formal sector. Now, if we talk about the cotton textile industry, it is our first industry which we are going to see. It is a market oriented industry. And if we talk about the size and scope of this industry, this is the largest industry of Pakistan, and it provides employment opportunities for about 50% of the industrial labor force in Pakistan. It contributes 7% of the gross domestic product GDP to the national economy. It acts as a significant source of foreign exchange to the country, and it established in different parts of our country like Karachi, Faisalabad, Hyderabad, Multan and Lahore. Now, if we talk about the system of cotton industry, we can see that there are some natural and physical factors like flat land, natural roots, climate, and they are almost same in almost every industry. The human factors are sometimes changed, like capital, labor, raw material, power supply facilities, efficient transport, industrial estate, government policies, but the processes are always changed. In cotton textile industries, the first process is ginning, then spinning, weaving, bleaching, dyeing and printing, cutting, stitching, packing and knitting. It depends how big the industry is. Ginning is basically that removing the lint seed from the lint, from that white cotton. When they take out the seed from it, it is called ginning. Then it's put it into the spinner so the yarn can be made. When the cotton yarn is being made, after the spinning of it, they use weaving technique to make the cloth. They bleach the cloth into white color, so the dyeing should be perfect. And there would be prints on it. Then the cutting is involved. If it's a garment factory, so they would cut it, stitch it, they would pack it, and sometimes the knitting is also done. Knitting is making embroideries on it, and the outputs would be cloth, garments, yarn, towel and hosiery items. Now, if we talk about the processes, which I have already told you clearly, now we'll directly go to importance and advantages. Like the 60% of Pakistan exports are related to cotton. It contributes 7% in GDP, large scale cotton cultivation in Pakistan, and it employs 50% of industrial labor. If we talk about the problems, there is unpredictable shortage of raw materials, sometimes because of some virus like leaf virus, floods, droughts. There is a recession in the international market. There is a tough competition we have with China, Taiwan, Egypt and South Korea. There is lack of modernization. Power supply shortage is a very big problem. Terrorist activities in some areas is challenging as well. There is uncertain political situation which also create hindrances. Now, if we talk about the enhancing cotton textile industry in Pakistan, how can we enhance it? We can, invest in research to address issues like the leaf curl virus, which affects crops, government support to advocate in different issues of farmers, like including tax holidays and accessible loans to encourage investment. There should be modernization of like machinery and technology to enhance efficiency. They should ensure a reliable and increased supply of electricity to meet the energy needs of the industry. They should be address environmental concerns to meet international standards and ease restrictions on exports. They should be focused on training and education programs for workers to improve skills and knowledge to foster a skillful and adaptable workforce. Now, if we talk about the influential elements that impact the cotton industry in Faisalabad, so first of all is the availability of irrigated farmland contributes to the cultivation of raw cotton, and the road and railway routes facilitate the transportation of the goods, connecting the industry to the markets and ensuring efficient supply chain. Rivers and barrages play a crucial role in supplying fresh water for washing cotton and supporting the production process. The presence of dry port in Faisalabad facilitates exports and transportation to Karachi very easily. Access to thermal power ensures a reliable electricity supply for machines used in the cotton industry. There is an availability of airport facilities, business trips and connections with businessmen promoting collaboration and trade within the cotton industry and beyond. So these are the major, influential elements. Now, if we talk about the second major industry, that is the sugarcane industry. Sugar industry in Pakistan, it's a vital agro-based sector in Pakistan, and sugarcane and beet serve as a primary raw materials for the sugarcane industry. Initially, only two sugar industries existed in Pakistan, in Gujranwala and Takhtabai Mardan, but the current landscape, like for example, presently there are almost 78 plus operational sugar plants are there in the whole country. Fine. And distribution by the provinces is like in Punjab there are almost 40, in Sindh there are 32 plants, in NWFP there are 6 plants, and there is no sugar mill in Balochistan. Now, if we talk about sugar industry as a system, again the inputs are almost same, just like the cotton industry, but the processes are different. That sugar cane is first washed, then it is crushed and the juice is collected. Then the juice is refined, then we crystallize the juice. It is whitened, made into white sugar, and then it is packed. So outputs are white sugar, sometimes brown sugar, gur and sugar, and there are some byproducts of sugar cane as well, which is called baggies, molasses, and press mud. And we are going to see what are these basically. The byproducts of sugar industry are these three. You can see on the screen. And the sugar industry is one of the industries which is a zero waste industry. Even its waste has been sold out. So first byproduct is this baggies. It is a dry pulpy residue left after the extraction of the juice from the sugar cane, and it is used as fuel, can be used to generate electricity, animal feed, or chipboard, paper, or basket making. Then we have molasses. This liquid, it is a thick dark brown juice obtained from the raw sugar during the refining process, and it is made from either sugar cane or sugar beet juice, which is boiled down to a syrup, and sugar crystals are extracted from the syrup, and the remaining dark liquid is called molasses. It is used as animal feed, synthetic rubber. It is used in packaging, chemical industries, citric acid, alcohol, and fuel. It's their uses. Now the third one is the press mud. or filter cake. It is the residual solid material obtained from the sugar cane after extracting juice through mechanical pressing. It is often used as soil conditioner or fertilizer due to its organic content, and it is contribute to the improved soil fertility because it has a lot of potash in it. So these are the byproducts. Now, if we talk about a very important question, that why does Pakistan face a deficit in sugar self-sufficiency? Pakistan faces challenges in achieving self-sufficiency in sugar due to some factors, that the fast growing population contributes to increased demand of sugar, putting pressure on the production capacities. Rising per capita consumption further intensifies the situation. Inefficient sugar recovery processes from sugarcane limit the overall yield, reducing the amount of sugar extracted per ton of the cane. Fluctuations in yield occur due to unpredictable weather conditions, affecting the quantity and quality of the sugarcane crop. The sugar industry is also susceptible to diseases and pests that can negatively impact the crop yield. Approximately 40% of sugarcane is diverted to the production of wood and other products, limiting the amount of available sugar. Now, if we talk about another industry, which is a very important industry, that is called fertilizer industry. Pakistan primarily is an agricultural country, and it faces a significant demand for cow dung and natural manure in its farming practices. But it inability to meet the growing demand for natural manure. So there is a need, crucial need for the chemical fertilizers as well. There are three types of main types of chemical fertilizers: nitrogenous, potassium and phosphorus fertilizers. The demand for these chemical fertilizers has risen notably, especially after the green revolution of 1960s. Chemical fertilizer production in Pakistan commenced in 1960s, when two fertilizer industries were established in Faisalabad and Dadukhail by the Industrial Development Corporation. And the discovery of natural gas in Sui became a crucial resource for chemical fertilizer production, because cool gas has been used to make the fertilizer. The Pakara Fertilizer Company was established in Multan, and there was an urea plants were established in cultivated in Shekhupura, Mirpur Mathailo, Haripur, Machigot and Dharki. So a super phosphate plant was also set up in Jadamala. So if we talk about the processes of the chemical fertilizer production, rotten plants, animal waste and specific chemicals are combined into a large iron container, and the mixture undergoes heating until it transforms into a thick paste. Natural gas is added, and its raw form without burning, means in a cooler form. And in the final stage, the paste is dried and grains are formed for easy application. They are like smaller ball like grains. Prominent fertilizer companies in Pakistan are Angro Fertilizer Company, Fauji Fertilizer Company, Pak Arab Fertilizer Company and Fatima Fertilizer Company. Now, if we talk about the this industry, fertilizer industry as a system, we can see the inputs are almost the same, but over here the natural gas, gypsum, nitrogen, nitrogenous, sulfur, potassium, potash, phosphate, ammonia, fish, animal remains, bones, moderate climate, these all are the added inputs. If we talk about the processes, preparation of the raw material is included: chemical reaction, separation of the fertilizer, filtering, evaporation and prilling. Prilling is basically when the thick liquid is evaporated into the solid one, then they make small balls out of it, and this from that fertilizer, they make a small ball like structures. Why? Because it is very easy and evenly it spreads over the crop, so that's why they make small balls of these fertilizers, and it is called prilling. Then it is being packed, and the outputs are urea, potassium and other different fertilizers. Now, if we talk about the significance or importance of the fertilizer industry, there is an increased crop production because of the chemical fertilizers. And while natural manures like cow dung and compost are also available, but they not be more sufficient to meet the demands of high yields. So chemical fertilizers are important. Imported fertilizers can be costly and strain the country's foreign exchange, but they can be made in the country, and it would be cost effective, and they give a very good yield as well. Pakistan's soil is often deficient in nitrogenous matter, so chemical fertilizers can tailor this issue. High yielding seed varieties require larger doses of fertilizers to maximum their potential. The industry also utilizes raw materials like sulfur, gypsum and phosphate along with the abundant natural gas, and it also contributes to the economic development of the country. Developing a domestic fertilizer industry can positively impact the balance of payments. We are going to see in the next chapter what is the balance of payment. And with a fast growing population, there is an increased demand for food. So the fertilizer industry plays a crucial role in supporting agriculture to meet the rising food requirements. Now, if we talk about the importance of the domestic fertilizer manufacturing, importing fertilizers can be expensive and strain the country's balance of payments. By producing fertilizers domestically, Pakistan can enhance its economic sustainability, and reduce the burden on foreign exchange reserves. Locally, it is manufacturing fertilizers can be more cost effective as compared to imported alternatives. And relying on the fertilizer imports would create a burden on the economy. Fertilizers being heavy are costly to transport over long distances. So domestic manufacturing ensures that the efficient distribution across the country would be made. And with large population, Pakistan needs to produce more food to meet the domestic demands. For key export crop like cotton and rice, we need a robust fertilizer. And establishing and expanding fertilizer industry would also increase the employment opportunities as well. So now another important industry which is called cement industry. And cement serves as a pivotal factor in the economic development of the country. Several favorable factors contribute to the growth of cement factory in Pakistan, like availability of the raw material which is gypsum and limestone. Strong domestic market with high demand from construction industry is there in Pakistan. Then utilization of natural gas as a cost-effective fuel. Then at independence, Pakistan boasted 5 cement factories and was an exporter of cement. So development initiative transformed Pakistan into a net importer of cement. Presently 24 cement units operate in the country, and public sector there are 4 units and private sector had the remaining units. Despite reliance on local raw materials, a rising trend on cement prices has been observed in recent years. They make the main causes include a decline in production and the general inflation. The cement industry is widespread across the country, and mostly the factories are over there where there is abundance of raw material. So 24 cement factories are located in various provinces, like in Punjab. There are factories in Dunkot, Attak, Mianwali, Dadukhel, Rawalpindi, DG Khan. In KPK, it's Hazara in Kohat. In Sindh, there are factories in Karachi, Sakhar, Hyderabad and Thatta. And in Balochistan, there is a factory in Kallat division. If we talk about the processes of cement industry, the inputs are almost same, but the natural gas, coal, clay, shale, sand are the different inputs. And then if we talk about the processes, they first grind all the raw materials, then they heat it, mix it with the different materials and chemicals, and then they pack it. And the outputs are cement, cement powder, blocks, bricks and slabs, cement slabs. If we talk about iron and steel industry, the establishment of this iron and steel industry is considered as a significant milestone in the path towards industrialization. The Pakistan Steel Mill Corporation established in December 1973, and it has a very crucial role with technical and financial support with USSR. And the steel mill is situated approximately 40 kilometers from the east of Karachi. The capital investment for the steel complex was around 25.5 billion rupees. So it was a huge project. The steel mill complex covers almost about 75.4 kilometers square area. It has a residential area for workers as well. The annual production capacity of Pakistan steel mills is about 1.1 million tons of steel, and the iron ore and coal are essential raw materials for the steel industry. And due to insufficient local resources, Pakistan has to import the iron ore from other countries such as Australia, Brazil, India, and Liberia. And coal is primarily sourced from Australia because we need anthracite coal in the steel industry, and it is not available in Pakistan. And if we talk about ore, ore is a naturally occurring solid material from which metal or a valuable mineral can be extracted. And iron ore is basically a rock or mineral from which ore can be extracted. So now if we talk about the main steel iron workshops in Pakistan, we have Heavy Mechanical Complex. It was founded in 1979 at Textile with Chinese assistance, and annual production capacity is about 60,000 tons. And the main products are the sugar mill equipment, cement factory machineries, overhead traveling cranes, road rollers, truck chases, low pressure packaging type boilers, etc. Then we have Pakistan Machine Tool Factory. It is inaugurated in Karachi. It was inaugurated in Karachi in 1968 with the Swiss support, and it was developed into a sophisticated engineering complex. They make engineering tools, transmission components, and automotive parts. Then we have Heavy Foundry and Forge Complex, which was set up in Textile with Chinese collaboration in 1976. Also had steel melting capacity of 60,000 tons. The main focus of this is to meet the needs of railways and automobiles, and produces heavy machinery. Then we have Karachi Shipyard and Engineering Works, and as its name depicts, it commenced operations in 1956 and specialized in shipbuilding and repair, catering to both local and foreign orders. And their product range is from machinery of hydroelectric power, HEP plants, thermal plants, chemical and petrochemical plants, oil and gas processing plants, and defense equipment. So if we talk about the advantages of steel and iron industry, it's a large scale employment industry. It gives employment to thousands of people. Products are manufactured locally, so the imports are reduced. Products are a variety for a variety of industries. It also has the export potential. Disadvantages, however, are also there, like huge area is required to make it, need huge investment, like Pakistan has to seek foreign assistance. All types of pollution like land and water pollution by the untreated wastewater, noise pollution by heavy machinery, air pollution due to release of heat and smoke is there. Now, if we talk about iron and steel industry as a system, we can see that in inputs, the main important inputs are scrap, iron ore, water, manganese, coal, which should be anthracite coal, chromite, limestone is there. And if we talk about the processes, mining, grinding, concentration, heating, refining, casting, according to the industry, the processes are change. Outputs are sheets, plates, rolls and coils, slabs, guiders, cast billets, value-added materials like steel and coke, and sometimes the machines are also being made. Now, if we talk about the industry of edible oils, the edible oil industry in Pakistan is diverse. with numerous oil seed crop cultivated for oil extraction. There are some key oil seed crops which includes mustard seeds, cotton seeds, sesame seeds, rape seeds, ground seeds, linseed seeds, sunflower seeds, castor oil seeds, and soya beans. The process begins with the extraction of oil from the seeds through crushing it. Various oil seed crops provide different types of edible oils, contributing to the industry's versatility. The refining process involves heating the extracted oil under vacuum conditions and approaching its smoking point. The controlled heating helps removes impurities and undesirable flavors and odors. Water is introduced at the bottom level during the refining process. The heat causes the water to convert into steam, which bubbles through the oil, and the steam carries away water-soluble chemicals, aiding in the removal of impurities. The bubbling steam helps eliminate water-soluble impurities, enhancing the quality of the edible oil, and this step is crucial for producing oil with a neutral taste and aroma. Refining is essential for enhancing the quality and purity of the edible oil, making it suitable for consumption. The removal of impurities contributes to the soil's stability and improves its shelf life. The use of different oil seeds allows the industry to produce a range of edible oils, which with its unique characteristics and application is available. Now, if we talk about a very important topic of the industrial development, that is industrial states and industrial zones. So, what are these? We are going to see in these slides. These are the specific areas reserved for the industry only. It encourages entrepreneurs, boost industrial development, attract investment, infrastructure developed by the government like water, gas, sanitation, colonies for workers, and roads are developed by the government. Incentives offered to industrialists like cheap rates of gas and power supply, sometimes concession in taxes, and industrial zones are same as industrial estates, except that the infrastructure facilities are developed by the investors in industrial zones. So this is a main difference. Examples are over here like Sindh Industrial Trading Estate Agency, Sundar Industrial Estate in Lahore, Qaidism Industrial Estate in Lahore. So these are the main industrial estates. If we talk about the advantages, there is a large scale employment, growth of industry eventually becomes the growth of country, attraction for the investors, competition would be there between the industries of same product resulting in better quality, export potential इनका, improves GDP of the country as well. Disadvantages भी हैं, however, like deforestation on large scale, it requires a huge investment, various types of pollution is there, and power shortage crisis is also a challenge in Pakistan. Now, if we talk about the significance of infrastructure in industrial zones, infrastructure is vital for business in an industrial state, offering numerous benefits across various aspects of operations. Like water supply is crucial for essential industrial processes such as washing, cooling, cleaning, and food processing. Electricity is essential for powering machinery, providing light, heat, ventilation, and supporting the operation of computers. Telecommunications also reliable, like telephone and internet connectivity facilitate communications, and gas supply is used for power generation, heating, lighting, and cooking. Road infrastructure is used for efficient road networks are essential for transportation of inputs and outputs. There is quick travel, like a well-connected transportation network allows for quick travel, which is very important as well. Now we have to see what are export processing zones, which are also called EPZs. It's an industrial area in which export-oriented industries are set up. Export products are made, like if supplied to the local market, same price will be taken as that for the international market. Examples of EPZs are at Landi in Karachi and another being built in Gwadar as well. The aims to set up EPZs are increasing export earnings, boosting industrial activity, creating employment, attracting investors, transferring high technology from the developed countries. And EPZs are the government's priority. They prioritize their facilities, power generation, gas, tax collection, and tax facilitation. They provide them on priority basis. So now if we talk about government policies towards industrial sector since 1947, so Pakistan Industrial Development Corporation PIDC was established to set up the public sector industries. Private sector was encouraged during Ayub's era, as we have seen in the previous video. Various incentives were offered to the investors. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto started the process of nationalization of several private sector industries, and in 1980 denationalization was done by Ziaul Haq and nationalized units were given back to their owners. In 1990 privatization of state-owned enterprises were done by Sharif government, and partial privatization of Pakistan Railway was done to improve its working. So the objectives of privatization was that expansion and modernization to improve the productivity and facilitate economic activities. Now, if we talk about formal and informal sector, the formal sector is basically where the employment is by the institution. There is a capital incentive using mainly modern machinery by fewer workers, registered by the government. Mainly male workers are working there, regular working hours, well-defined salaries, better environment is given to the workers. There is good quality product. The purpose-built factories are there. Informal sector basically is the self-employment, like the person who own the factory or a smaller unit. He's doing work over there, any kind of work, maybe monitoring or something like that. A labor incentive, mainly manual work or less use of machinery is there. Mainly unregistered female workers and children are also employed because they give them less wages. Irregular working hours, uncertain variable wages. There is no good environment over there, low standard in quality of goods, usually located at homes or smaller places, in a smaller places. Now, if we talk about the contribution of the formal sector, it promotes industrial growth, services for the domestic and international market. It contributes to the GDP of the country. And contribution of the informal sector, there is a certain amount of industrial expansion. It meets the local demands as well, and low prices of industrial goods are there, but usually locally available raw material is used and provides door-to-door supply of everyday use items within the country. So within the country it contributes. Now, very important topic of the industrial development we are going to start, that is the cottage industry. Cottage industries are basically the handmade items prepared for the market, and owner is self-employed and helped by the family members only. It's kind of a small scale industry which use of mechanical power with a limited number of hired labor. And if the electricity is used, then the number of workers are maybe 20 or more than 20. Or if it is not used, then the number of workers would be maybe 50. It contributes 5% to the GDP and hold important position in the rural setup. Most villages are self-sufficient in the basic necessities of life. They have their own carpenters, blacksmiths, potters, craftsmen and cotton weavers. Many families depend on the cottage industries for their income, and they are also considered important export items and are good in demand in international markets. Cottage and small scale industries are a form of small scale industries which are decentralized manufacturing or production of often conducted in homes and small workshops. So if we talk about the types of cottage industries or small scale industries, there is carpet making, hand woven and hand knotted carpets made up of wool, silk or a mixture of both, and different regions produce different kind of carpets. Then we have textiles, production of textile like susi, khadar, khas, chunri and ajrak, known for their vibrant colors is there. Then we have delicate designs in gold and silver jewelry making, often crafted in cities. Then we have ceramics, like production of clay and terracotta pottery, including urns, pitchers, bowls, and pots. Designs often reflects patterns found at archaeological sites. Woodwork famous in Swat Valley, like with wood carving being common in northern mountains. Chennot is also renowned in this future furniture carving. Then we have metal works, like Peshawar is known for brass and copper work. Metal is used to create plant trays, boxes, and vessels. Then we have sport goods. Sialkot is a hub for the sports goods industry, producing items like footballs, raw materials including rubber, wood pulp, stitching material, thread, and leather is commonly available in Pakistan. So some materials are imported while others are sourced locally. Now, over here there is one issue, that child labor is a challenge. Despite the success of in producing high quality footballs for international markets, we have been challenged that child labor is used for stitching these balls. So it is a question, a challenge for the government as well. If we talk about the characteristics of cottage or small scale industries, it is a small scale industry, craft industry कहते हैं इसे. It's a traditional skills are used in it. It is a labor intensive, like if it's a good made by a good labor, it will be, the quality would be good. Simple machinery is used local raw materials, local specialization is used, possible exports, and mostly it is sold to tourists, and it encouraged by the government. Mostly work is done by in homes or small workshops. Now, if we talk about the advantages of cottage industries, employment opportunities would be there, meet the demand of local markets, source of foreign exchange earnings, employment for women, reduce rural urban migration. It makes use of industrial waste. There would be little burden of imports, good use of local raw material would be used, less capital and less technology is involved. But there are many problems as well, like shortage of raw material, lack of proper marketing, production methods and machineries are outdated. There is a lack of standardization and quality control, lack of coordination between different industries, lack of capital, less profit due to high cost of production, non-availability of electricity, there is no facility of loans, provision of technical advice, and further training is very limited. Now, if we talk about the government policies, the government is fully aware with the potential of cottage and small scale industries, and for industrial development, the development of these industries is responsibility of the provinces, and each province is set up its own organization. And over here you can name, you can see the names of the organizations which are working under every province. Then if we talk about the main functions of these organizations, the main functions are the establishment of the small scale industrial estates, providing them marketing facilities, technical services, establishing handicraft development centers and carpet centers, provide them guidance and loans on easy installments, training them, sample exhibitions, providing marketing facilities. So these are the main functions. Now, if we talk about the sports good industry, the main features are that they are mainly in Sialkot, and it's a small to medium industry. It is export oriented, easily available raw material, local or imported, like leather, rubber, wood, thread. We have skilled labor of this as well, and it works both in formal and informal style, and mostly it meets the international standards. Advantages की अगर बात करें तो the industry promotes and preserves traditional craftsmanship and skills, and by using local source raw materials, the sports goods industry reduces dependence on imports and increases the GDP of the country. The expansion of the industry creates more job opportunities. The sport good industry can provide employment opportunity to women as well. It also contributes huge amount in GDP. As the industry expands, it can contribute to increase international trade and exports as well. so it has a potential. However, there are some disadvantages of the sports good industry as well, that the industry's growth may lead to shortage of raw material like rubber, thread and leather, and rapid expansion may outpace the availability of the skilled labor. The need for advanced machinery for production might result in dependence on imports, and if not addressed properly, issues related to child labor and the concern about product quality may hinder the international trade, because they will not buy the things if they are not good in quality. Now, the second cottage industry is the surgical instrument industry. It is the main industry. The inputs are steel, capital, machinery, raw material, and the main industries of surgical equipment are in Lahore and Sialkot. Simple and advanced instruments are made, manufactured, and repaired. Local supply as well as they are exported. Issues of child labor persist over here as well, and competition with the developing countries is a big challenge. Then we have brick nail industry. A nail brick nail is where the raw bricks undergo baking or burning. ये जो इस तरह के भट्टे बने हुए होते हैं, you can see it over here in the picture. It is a vital small scale industry in Pakistan. It addresses employment needs in the rural areas. Typically, it is located in the isolated areas away from the population. And estimated we have 20,000 plus brick mills in the country, and the contribution is approximately 1.5%. We have limited working hours, working days for that, because rainy days there would be no work. It is used in the construction material. It is reliance on coal and undesirable fuel. Inadequate socio-economic conditions are there for the laborers. The right of health, education and recreation is not there. Labor are divided into different different as compared to their different works. Like there are people who unbake the brick makers, there are loaders, there are furnace coal feeders, there are baked brick removers, so they have different works to do. Then we have main workers who are responsible to bake and take out the bricks from the nail. And then production processes, like after molding the mud, the bricks are left to dry. Then after that, when they are dried off, they are hard enough, they are baked in the nail. If we talk about the living conditions, so they live in pathetic conditions. The production process and the labor division actually makes a living of the labor is like very difficult, because they don't have the basic needs, they don't have the basic facilities, and the socio-economic challenges are there. It also causes a lot of pollution in the nearby areas as well. Now, if we talk about the brick nail industry processes, so I have told you earlier as well that clay is mixed with water, make lumps of the, they reduce the lumps, dissolve the lumps of the clay, and then placed in molds, dried in the sun, and then they bake in the nail, and the outputs are the bricks. Now, if we talk about the environmental impact of the brick nail industry, it causes air pollution, health consequences. It also causes deforestation. There is an agricultural impact. Waste disposal of this nail also causes issues. So, if we talk about the recommendations, implement cleaner brick making technologies would be benefited, and enforce proper waste disposal measures should be taken. Promote sustainable practices to reduce the environmental impact. They should be invest in search for eco-friendly alternatives in big production. So these are the recommendations. Now, if we talk about the solutions, so encourage brick nail owners to shift from traditional methods to natural gas, and the mandate higher chimneys for construction of the nails, so it would reduce the pollution in the nearby areas. Government should advocate the use of masks by the workers in the brick nails, and promote the adoption of the clean coal technologies. There should be implementation of the filter system in the mills, and there should be enforced regulations to monitor and limit the emissions from the brick mills. Awareness campaigns among the brick mill owners and the workers about the environment impact is also very crucial, and the provision of financial incentives and subsidies for the mill owners for the using the cleaner methods is also very important. There should be government should partner with the non-governmental organization to implement and monitor eco-friendly practices. Now, if we talk about the industry and environment, air and aquatic pollution by chemical units, brick mills and factories, the air pollution can be made by smoke and toxic gases, and contamination of subsoil water cause digestive disorders. Noise pollution is caused by heavy machinery. Dumping and burning waste causes land pollution. Contamination of crops. Disposal of industrial waste in the sea causes adverse effects. Serious threats is there to mangroves. So industrial development has their pros, but it has a lot of disadvantages to the population as well, as you can see. So there are some measures to control the industrial pollution as well. That efficient mechanism of disposing industrial waste should be there. Import machinery to treat waste. Installing catalytic converters and precipitators, which can, amend the or clarify the air. And extensive plantation of trees should be there. Enforce strict law for dumping untreated waste, and awareness campaigns should be run throughout the country. If we talk about the sustainable industrial development, we can see that we should prioritize conservation of non-renewable energy resources and promote the development and utilization of renewable energy resources. We know this. In response to energy crisis in Pakistan, sustainable industry practices should include strategies for efficient energy, energy consumption. And it should promote sustainable agriculture practices to ensure the stable and renewable supply of raw materials. Then implement in service training programs for industrial labor should be there. Ensure safe working conditions. Use of technology to minimize waste generation. Implement recycling techniques to conserve the environment and reduce the environmental impacts. Encouraging sustainable development in tertiary industries. Establish proper systems for safe disposal of toxic industrial waste. There should be political stability, which is very crucial to attract investment in Pakistan, and explore market opportunities to ensure the viability and competitiveness of industries in the global market. Then we have tertiary industries. Tertiary industry is basically a sector of the economy that is related to the service activities, like including but not limited to retail, hospitality, finance, healthcare and education. Tertiary industries focus on providing services rather than producing any tangible goods. It plays a vital role in overall economic landscape of Pakistan. So the question is, why do people travel to Pakistan? Sometimes for any sports event, sometimes for cultural reasons such as being curious about foreign places, peoples or cultures, for personal reasons like to visit friends and relatives. People also travel for prestige and status reasons, for educational or professional goals, for recreational purposes. So what are the factors that affecting tourism industry in Pakistan? Presence of the tourist attractions is one of the major reasons. Level of security for the tourist, availability of capital, provision of infrastructure facilities, management of tourist attractions, marketing and publicity at international level should be there. The feasibility of developing transport and communication, and government priority that they have to develop the tourism and they have to improve their GDP is very important. Now, if we talk about the international tourist visitors, They come over here for three main groups, like for business, for visiting their families, and for the recreational purposes. So the international business visitors mainly come to Pakistan from the European countries to attend the trade delegations, for educational activities, like some educational institutes have hired foreign staff as a staff of multinational companies such as oil companies, foreign banks, as United Nations officials. They come to Pakistan. Many Pakistani works abroad, like in Kuwait, UAE, UK, and USA. They are not tourists, but when they are on holidays, they come to visit their families. Foreign tourists who visit Pakistan only for recreational purposes. If we talk about the main sources of visitors, the UK has remained the main source of visitors. Other sources were India, Germany, Japan, Russia, China, Canada, and so on. Most of the visitors from overseas visited many main cities like Karachi, Rawalpindi, Islamabad, and Lahore. And this is mainly due to the nature of these visits, which are dominated by the Pakistanis returning to visit friends or relatives. So if we uh, talk about the cultural attractions in Pakistan, we do have archaeological sites over here like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, and Textile, historic and religious sites like forts like Lahore Fort, mosques, tombs. So these are the important sites like passes, different natural attractions like passes, Khyber Pass, Kailash Valley, Swat Valley. Then we have modern buildings like Faisal Mosque, Parliament Building, President House, Minar Pakistan. We have natural attractions like mountains, snow-capped peaks, natural vegetation, photography, hiking, snow falling, steep slopes. So people are who are interested in them, they come to Pakistan. Now, other attractions in cities like in Islamabad, we have Damne Ko, Shakarpariyan, Pakistan Monument, Lok Virsa. In Karachi, we have provincial capital Ismay, we have Seaport, International Airport, Clifton Beach, Hawke's Bay Beach. In Lahore, we have many archaeological sites. It's a provincial capital of Punjab. We have Lahore Fort, Badshahi Mosque, Dada Darbar, Jahangir Tomb, Minar Pakistan. In Quetta, we have, it's a provincial capital of Balochistan. We have Bulan and Khojak Pass near it. We have a hill resort of Ziyarat near Quetta, and there is a museum over there as well. In Peshawar, it's a provincial capital of KPK. It's the Khyber Pass is near it. Then we have Bala Hisar Fort over there, Mahabat Khan Mosque over there, and Peshawar Museum is over there as well. If we talk about the advantages of developing tourism, it attracts the foreign exchange and labor incentive industry. It will create employment for the labor. It promotes craft and cottage industry. It reduces rural to urban migration. The cultural interaction would be there between Pakistan and different countries, and it's a sustainable industry as well. However, there are some disadvantages of developing tourism is over there, because we need a lot of capital to require to be spent on the tourism. It has limited earning. Adventure tourism attracts the young people only, and it's a seasonal employment only, especially in the northern areas. In winters, there is a very less opportunities to go there. There is an adverse effect on the local culture over there, because they are going to westernize, and local and global disturbances affect the tourist as well, like sometimes the political instability in the country, the terrorist attacks, and so on. Now, if we talk about the factors that determine the feasibility of developing tourism, there is a presence of a tourist attraction, there is adequate security for the tourist, capital for developing infrastructure of tourist sites, communication and transport, management tourist sites, publicity and marketing is very important, government priorities, and there should be targeted tourism. Targeted tourism means that target some area, so that we have to enhance that area. There should be marketing of that area and so on, like Kumrat Valley was introduced some years back. Now, if we talk about the tertiary industries also have the call centers. It's an organization that handles calls to or from the other companies. It is a newly emerging tertiary industries, and inbound and outbound calls are, entertained. Inbound calls are those from the customer to the company, and outbound calls are those which are calls from the company to the customer. And they can handle huge number of calls with the help of computer data system, and agents transfer calls to the relevant companies, and it is also called telemarketing. Call center business in Pakistan requires a lot of government support. Government also provided them toll-free telephone numbers, which is provided by the government, and starting from like 0800. And services like airline bookings, hotels, banking, medical and insurance services are being booked by the calls. And domestic and overseas calls are forwarded to call centers in major towns like Karachi, Lahore and Islamabad. Then PTCL is also facilitating connections for the call centers, and efficient and quick responses to many calls at a time can be done. So if we talk about the feasibility of developing call centers in Pakistan, it has huge growth potential in Pakistan. It's a revenue generation source. It can promote business through telemarketing, and it's an effective management of labor. However, it has some disadvantages, like it is suitable for urban areas only, and there will be no benefit for the rural areas, and it is not suitable for the illiterate or computer illiterate people. It has a very slow pace of growth, and it requires a small scale of employment as compared to its capital investment. So it was the whole topic of industrial development. I have covered all the topic in this video, and I hope that they are clear to you. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.